Basic Cooking with Chef now. Welcome to Basic Cooking with Chef now. We're very excited to have you with us today. Today I'm actually going to do something that's very dear to me, is proper way to cook a risotto. I mean, I've been in many places, many restaurants, and they have in the menu fish, chicken with risotto. And I taste the risotto, I was like, what the heck is this? It's like a rice smash or something, or dry or overcooked or undercooked. So we're going to take you to the steps to do a proper risotto. First of all, risotto comes from arborio rice. Arborio rice is Italian rice, the real Italian rice. So it's, you can look at the grain. When you cook the risotto, you want to cook it al dente. Means you still have the bite. If you don't have that bite, means you overcooked it. It's got to have that little bite. So the risotto also likes to have shallots. The shallots got to be like a very small chopped shallot, fine julienne, then cut them across to make like a brunoise. Brunoise is like this size, very small. And then you got to have some kind of good cheese, Parmesan. Aged Parmesan cheese. If you don't have that, you're in trouble. And then you gotta have some herbs. I mean, at this time of the year, you know, we have rosemary and stuff. I don't want to use rosemary, but some parsley is okay. And definitely some basil. Basil is like the camarade, the friend of the risotto. And the vino, the wine. The wine and the olive oil, of course, and salt and pepper. So we're going to go through these steps. And the most important thing, you need to have your liquid. And liquid's got to be hot. And what kind of liquid? It's mostly chicken stock. If you're really vegetarian and you can't have any animal products, I would suggest you don't eat risotto, because risotto has to have the cheese, the butter, and stuff. But if you are a vegetarian, they can eat the cheese and dairy. So you probably want to have like a vegetable stock. So we're doing this with the chicken stock. I just want to show you. I used a whole chicken. I cut 2 chicken breasts. So the rest of the chicken, I'm saving it. I'm cooking it. So usually you got to cook it with mirepoix, which is onion, celery, and carrots. 2 parts onion, 1 part celery, 1 part onion. And you got to cook it for like at least 3 to 4 hours. So anyway, our stock is cooking here. Just want to show you, I already have stock nicely strong cooked. You got to get your pan. I don't want it too hot, because I'm going to sweat the shallots. So I got like 1.5 ounce shallots here. So I'm going to do is just sweat them. Means get them release the little bit of sweat, liquid. So you got to get this a little hot, not too hot. Again, we don't want to caramelize anything. So olive oil, just in the beginning. We're going to use some butter. I don't want to put butter now because it's going to burn. If you put butter now, it's going to burn, unless it's clarified butter. But olive oil is good. So I got olive oil. Let me add a little bit more, because I want to show you why. Okay, so we got olive oil. Good. Now we throw like 1.5 ounce shallots. Okay, so now we're just gonna stir them with a little bit of wooden spoon until they get a little soft. So the trick with risotto, you want to do this. Is like, what is he doing? That's how you cook risotto. You got to saute it. I'm going to explain the reason behind it. I think that's plenty. So you have to coat the risotto with the olive oil. You got some kind, almost like a saute it a little bit. It's like you're coating the grains. At the same time, you sweat in the shallots. Or you can sweat the shallot first and then throw the risotto on. But I like to put them together because why? The risotto is going to suck the flavor of the shallots. And it's going to be more flavorful like that. So I'm not adding any seasoning, anything, just like so. So you cook like this until you hear like the little risotto cracking. When you start cracking, means you're ready for the liquid. So the first liquid you need is white wine. Now I'm going to explain to you. It's very important to have risotto cooked in 3 parts. The same quantity of risotto, you want the same quantity of liquid. Means if I put here 4-ounce risotto, you want 3 times 4-ounce liquid, 4-ounce wine, and then 1 cup of chicken stock. I hope you're following with the math. So it's like 1, 2, 3. So you got 1 here, you multiply by 3. So you need to have, if it's 4 ounce here, you need to have 4 ounce here, 4 ounce here, and 4 ounce here. Okay, I think that's basically, it's not cracking yet. So you keep doing this. The reason I want just to take this today, just cook risotto, because it's so important just to focus on this. You gotta stay with it. You can't just put risotto and move, go away. You gotta be around and keep stirring it and give it a lot of love and attention. Risotto is sad, it needs happiness, it needs to be like hugged, like me. You gotta have some fun with it. So it's like a la 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 la. I had an Italian chef when I was working at the Phoenician Resort. His name was Alejandro Strata. He was one of the top chefs. I think he's in Las Vegas now. Oh my God, he taught me how to properly. He's like, stick with it, stay here, don't go anywhere. So with your risotto. So you gotta start with your risotto. It's starting to little crack, but you can't really hear it. It may expedite this a little bit. You should not do this fast, but okay. So we mix in the risotto with shallots. No. We got our stock going on. And because it's herb risotto, I might throw in some dry herb in the beginning. The reason dry herbs in the beginning are very concentrated, and they're going to release all our flavor. Now you can do this with tomatoes, with peppers, with mushrooms, with whatever you want. Okay, it's starting to crack nice. So if you want tomato risotto, I would suggest you do tomato concasse, which are like peeled tomatoes, seeds out and diced. If you want to do sauteed mushrooms, you can saute mushrooms and fold them in. Spinach, or we're going to do here herbs, which is basil. But basil, I want to do it at the end. I'm going to do a chiffonade. I'm going to show you how we do it. So let me just move here. I think that's a cracking, it's coming. So while this is a little cooking, I'm still here, I'm not going anywhere. Let me do my chiffonade. So you take some leaves. I'm rushing a little bit here. So you just gotta fold them like this. And then you gotta cut very thin. You gotta have that bare claw so you don't cut yourself. So basically the chiffonade is this. It comes from the word chiffon. In French language, something that like a sponge. So this here is plenty for us. So we're going to say we don't want to waste all that stuff. So we have our chiffonade. Our risotto is happy. So we're going to continue now. We got our stock. We said we use 4-ounce risotto, correct? So we need 4-ounce liquid. So we're going to take the white wine, probably one up to here. Now that's the first batch. It's 3 batches, remember? So what we want to do is cook in 3 batches. I'm not going to add stocks now. So I'm going to add stock after all the wine gets sucked in. So when the whole wine is in and there's no more liquid, then I add the second liquid batch, which is the stock here. It's working good. So I get my basil chiffonade. I'm going to start working on my cheese too. Now, a lot of people use shredded Parmesan. I mean, it's fine. I like it shaved. So you can do it with a knife, or you can do it with, you know, a little shaved Parmesan like that. That's beautiful like that. Let's always use a bear claw. So basically shaving. Like truffle shaving, you can use a machine or you can use a, like I did with a chef's knife. Okay, my risotto here, I don't have see any more juice. So now I'm going to do is add another second batch of 4-ounce. Okay, that's done. Now, you gotta mix it. Do I leave, go away, do something? My phone is ringing, maybe go take a phone call. No, I gotta stay with it. If you don't mix it up, stay with it. It's gonna be cooking in the bottom and not cooking on top. So when you're cooking in the bottom, not cooking on top, what happens? It's tough in the bottom, and it's not as, you gotta stir it so it cooks evenly. So it's got to be like cook all the grains the same way, meaning it's not one part cooked, one part undercooked. So this is fun. I got my chicken. So some people like to add the cheese now, and so I really don't want to add the cheese now. I like to add it at the end and the herbs at the end, and I'm going to finish it with a touch of wine at the end. So I got my butter too. I want to add some butter to give it the creaminess. The butter is going to make it creamy. So I get all these items going to go to at the end. Now imagine I want a risotto different look with peppers or herbs. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. Risotto is a nice thing. Risotto is very friendly as long as you mix it and you stick with it. You don't want to leave it alone. I'm here, don't worry. So you can take some peppers like so, and just kind of get rid of these ingredients. So cut them into like a bâtonnet or chiffonade, julienne. One mistake I did here, what is the mistake? I didn't put anything to hold my cutting board. Very important to put some kind of wet towel to hold your cutting board. So now I cut the bâtonnets like that. Bâtonnets are basically saying sticks. I'm watching you, don't worry. Now, these peppers are raw, so if you want a little color, I can throw them in there now. And I mix my risotto is almost dry. It sucked all that flavor, that chicken stock, the second chicken stock is done. Beautiful. Now I can start seasoning it because The last batch is coming, so I can add some salt and pepper. I know this doesn't give you too much salt and pepper, but it's okay. So I'm twisting it a lot. It's good exercise for my hand. Now you flip the other side, you get the salt. Now be careful with the salt because you're going to add Parmesan, and Parmesan is very salty. So you got to be easy. Okay. We got our seasoning here. Mix it up. Now all the liquid is gone. You can see that. So what we're going to do now is add another batch. So we need another 4 to 5 ounces. So let's get my level here. There we go. So that's like a there we go. Now we're going to add all the other stuff. The herbs ready, the cheese, make sure it's ready. And some people add the cream. I'm going to stay away from it. It doesn't need all that stuff. Everybody's creative. I think I want to keep it as plain as much. I just put the pepper in there so people can see you can actually play with the colors and add mushrooms. So this is fine. This will be the last. I'm going to add some cheese now so the cheese can melt. Now shaved cheese. If you're like me, you like cheese, you can add more cheese. So I will definitely add more cheese when I put it in the plate. But right now I'm good. So maybe half of the herbs. Let me just chop them so they can easily mix in. Oh man, this is beautiful. We got some parsley. There we go. Now this is fun. This is what I'm talking about. Look at the little butter. 1 ounce of butter is good. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Even though risotto has to be al dente to the bite, but it has to be creamy as well. Very important to have, like, when somebody puts in the plate, it's creamy, and then you bite on and you eat it and you get that bite. That's al dente, that's Mamma Maria, that's beautiful. I will make my old chef Alejandro very happy. We call him Alex Strata. So thank you, Alex, for teaching me a lot of stuff. And that's what I'm doing here. What I learned from a lot of those famous chefs, I'm actually giving it back to society. That's our goal. Our goal is to teach, give back by teaching. So these shows, thank God, we have like a Fairfax channel doing this kind of shows. It's good. It's helping a lot of people that don't have money to go to school, or people just home learn how to cook. It's very important to learn how to cook, especially these times. I'm not going to explain to you why, but it's better to eat home anyway. So our risotto is almost there. So what we want to do is probably add more cheese. Again, shaved. Oh. And then you want to take it off the heat. You probably say, what the heck is he doing? He's crazy. The risotto is not done. Believe me, it actually needs more juice. It is going to suck all that juice. So we mix it a little bit. So remember, you stay with it. And a little bit of this just dry herb at the end as well to give it some looks and some flavor. And then we finish with a little touch of wine. And some more butter. Now you can do heavy cream if you want, but I think butter is definitely the flavor. Just like 1 teaspoon. You mix it, you mix it. It's almost like making a beurre blanc. When you mix it, what happens? The butter gets, there is an emulsion. It doesn't break. Because the butter, if you don't mix it up, it breaks, then you get all that oil coming on top. So like this is like creating emulsion. And then the risotto looks very happy like that. It's like giving a nice massage, uniform. Oh my God, this is what I'm talking about. This is cooking, look at that. And then we take a nice plate. Now, because the risotto is white, do I serve it in a white plate? No, so you want a dark plate. But before I do that, I want to show you a trick. Now, you can take a risotto, you can mold it, you can put it in something like this. You can put it inside and refrigerate overnight, and it will become like a block. And then you can slice it and seal it, and become like cakes. So you can actually make a risotto into a cake and let it refrigerate overnight and then slice it next day and seal it. What's going to happen, you get like crispiness outside, soft inside, and it looks beautiful. They do it in a lot of five-star restaurants. So you see, I'm giving you all those secrets that people pay a lot of money for. Again, make sure you take it off the heat. What is the other thing about risotto? And like I said, you can do mushrooms, you can do herb, you can do tomato, you can do a lot of stuff. So now that's done, what I'm going to do is do a last shaving of cheese. Now, if you don't like Parmesan, you can do Romano cheese. I like to take my time and do this right. If you don't want to do it with this knife, you can use a machine. I think I might have a machine here. You can do it with anyway, I don't know. No, I didn't. I forgot. So you can use a mandolin, or you can use like a truffle shaving thing. So there's many ways. Or you can use there's a Roboco that has a little shaving plate. But this is good. Okay. All right, so now we're going to serve our risotto. That's what I'm talking about. That's risotto. Still creamy, and then garnish it with a little bit of cheese on top. And then I put maybe 1 dot of butter here to melt. Some basil. And then if you want to eat it by yourself, you can actually add some sauce to it, or some balsamic reduction to make it look sexy. Sorry. This is just in case you want to go further than. And just move your sauce. Maybe some parsley here. Voila. If you want to add more diced stuff, you can add. But I'm not going to get to that. The most important thing for me is actually making sure the risotto is soft and al dente. So Just going to taste. Now that's what I'm talking about. Little bite, flavor. You got the wine flavor there. You got the chicken stock. You get the shallot flavor. Oh my God, you get the butter flavor. It's unbelievable. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful risotto plate. You can make me happy, give me lunch like that. I don't need any meat. I don't need nothing. That's it. And then take some bread, shave it with some olive oil, or maybe some roasted pepper like I did, like a roasted pepper coulis, some herbs, put it on the grill, and that's it. Slice it, voila, and you're done. It's a bit flavor. And then, like I said, if you make some cakes, you can save it overnight. Now, you can make this a day before. This is very important, very important. You make risotto because you can see how much time it takes to make. So instead of making risotto, making some meat and going crazy, you can make risotto and stack it like this. Good, you know what I mean? Make it flat like that. Refrigerate overnight. Make it like this, flat. And then you can take a rain cutter. Rain cutter or something to cut with. I did not bring a rain cutter. Let me see. Well, anyway, you take a rain cutter. Imagine this is a rain cutter, and then you cut it. You make a lot of rings. And again, like I said, you can sear them, both sides. You can make a beautiful, beautiful side dish. So this can be a side dish, can be an appetizer. You can use it with some shrimp. You can use it with a lot of things. You can use risotto balls. I used to make this risotto, make it into balls, and put a Parmesan cheese on it, and fry it. What happened, it gets crispy outside. You take a bite on it, and then you get the cheese melting. Oh, my God. Especially I work with a French chef. What he did, he actually said, I'm not going to use Parmesan. He said, I'm going to use Gruyere cheese. So he put Gruyere cheese, and he coated it with the risotto and make the balls. He deep fried it, take it out. The Gruyere cheese was just like sticky, but the flavor is unbelievable. And I had a lot of guests. I did this, I think, inauguration one time where I did like maybe 6,000 risotto balls, and I will never forget that. It's like, man, making those balls, you sleep in at night. It's like, I'm thinking about those risotto balls. So there's a lot of things you can do. It's beautiful. You can take the Parmesan cheese, make it into the twirls. All you do is take the Parmesan shredded, make it into a round, bake it in the oven. It comes soft in the beginning, but it gets crispy, and then you can put it here as a garnish. So there's plenty. I just want to say thank you for watching. We're going to show you how you're going to use the risotto as a side dish. It's a pleasure. Watch the next show. Chef Abdel Agnow. Thank you very much.